Hello dear viewer, blessing the rains down in Africa. MurdochX here, and it's time to clean some PC games out of my closet. Sometimes while I'm out looking at PS2 games, I run into old PC games that I've never heard of. I'm always worried that I missed out on great or unique games since I grew up on consoles. I'm also fascinated with all of the little games that were handed out as freeware or shareware on floppy disks. Because of this, I have a small collection of PC games. It's a mix of AAA titles and shovelware, but it's time to clear some of these out. The plan is to install and sample these games and then sell them on eBay, unless I like them a bunch. I mean, I'm not going to get rid of all of them. First up, we have these two games. I've been hoping to find an old collection of shareware and freeware games to dig through, which is why I bought these, which turned out to just be some broken, half-assed games that are super annoying to install. On that note, while I have you here, if you know any good place to find a bunch of old free games, please let me know. I'm fascinated with this stuff, and DOS games tend to be more reliable than Windows 95 games. Brief mention for Astro Avenger 2. This is a free Shockwave game that I bought. It's not bad, and I have a full video about it. A lot of folks have fond memories of this title, but I'm clearing it out and adding it to the sell stack. Unreal 2: The Awakening. Here's one that I was looking forward to playing, but as soon as I got through all of the introduction stuff, I thought it would be a smart idea to change the graphics settings, which crashed the game, which I never saved. I played the hell out of some Unreal Tournament back in the day, but I don't think that the single-player campaign of Unreal 2 is for me. It's a classic and wonderful game, but I don't think I'd spend much time with this, so it's getting added to the sell stack. Quick note, they put the Atari logo on the spine upside down. Oops. Jagged Alliance 2: Wildfire. This game looks fun, but I couldn't get it to install, so I downloaded a pirate version of the game and it also wouldn't work, but for different reasons. It looks like a lot of folks have had trouble with this game, as the Steam page for it mostly lists errors that folks run into while trying to install this. To the sell pile it goes. Microcommandos. Here's a game that did install and play just fine. This is a fun idea for a game, a real-time strategy title with teeny tiny pieces. I couldn't find a way to speed up time, and waiting for resource gathering to finish got old, so I stopped playing. It's a shame. I would have liked to see what else this game had to offer. Also, somehow this game's case and cover were switched around at some point. The back of my copy shows a kid's dinosaur game. A little bit weird. Also, it's being added to the sell pile. Now to talk about the last two games, which are related. I bought Artist Colony as a used game, but when I opened it up there was an ad for an MMO called Draconica Volia. I figured since the game was over a decade old and I've never heard of it, there's no way it still has a dedicated server running the game, but sure enough, it looks like the game traded hands and kept on going. I set up a free account and played around with this for a day. I was a bit worried during installation when most of the buttons were in Russian, but once the game begins, it's about 99% in English, though a bit of Russian is still around here and there. There are not a lot of folks playing this game, but it does still have an active community. But back to the game that I bought, Artist Colony. This ended up being the biggest surprise out of all of the games in this video. The first thing I noticed after installing this game was an icon for more Best Buy games, which is not a great sign, but this game had me hooked. We start off with a short story about some artists that built a retreat but became divided and left the location to fall apart to the elements. Years later, the child of one of these owners returns to the location, and with the help of his friend, they decide to bring the place back to its former glory. The goal of the game here is pretty straightforward. Fix buildings, train artists, sell art. This is done by picking up and dragging characters to what you want them to work on. They have an inspiration and an energy stat that affect how well and how long they can do each of these tasks. If the energy meter runs low, send them to the residence hall for some rest, or just stick them on a bench and let them chill for a bit. For the inspiration meter, there are also a few options. Drag a character to a pond, a bed of flowers, or one of these special flowers that appears randomly. If the inspiration meter fills all the way up, your character may get the urge to make some art, which can then be sold to buy further upgrades. This is a simple game, but it's well made and the story is fun and to the point. Also, watching the seasons change is a nice feature. If this looks like something that you would like to play, then I have good news for you. There are free download links all over the internet. Give this one a shot sometime. One last thing, the music in this title is super chill. It really pulls together the experience of watching drama unfold while rebuilding this lovely complex. I never did figure out how to save before the game crashed though. So, after writing this script, I got on eBay and was checking out game prices for PC games, and they're not great. I mean, I didn't expect they would be, but I'm gonna have to wait until my stack gets pretty big before I try to sell them on eBay as a lot. So I'm gonna get a stack going, and hopefully it'll be large enough in the near future that I can ship them out and have some more room in my closet. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to make it to that magical 1,000 subscriber mark where the rest of YouTube's features become unlocked.
My name is Levi. I go back murder on the internet. I die in video games, but not